I was
Hi,
trying.
Tom.
How you doing?
Hey,
Good.
Tom.
How are you?
Good.
We're going live in just a second here.
Looks like you're all set, Chris.
Okay, great. Welcome, everybody. My name is Christine Craycroft, Executive Director of the Portage Park District. This is the regular monthly meeting of the Portage Park District Board of Commissioners for February 22nd, 2021. We have Commissioner Chuck Engelhardt. He's our Vice President. He's going to be chairing the meeting in lieu of President Scott McKinney, who is unable to make it today. So I'll turn it over to Chuck.
Thank you, Chris, and welcome everybody this evening. I'd like to call the meeting to order. It's 5:37. And with that, if we could have roll call, please.
Commissioner Engelhardt,
Here.
Commissioner Arshian,
Here.
Commissioner Hurdy,
Present.
and Commissioner McKinney is absent with prior notice.
Okay, thank you, Rory. Do we have any public comments? I didn't see any notation, but need to inquire.
We did not receive any.
Thank you. All right, moving on to item number 3, which is approval of minutes. We have 2 separate sets of meeting minutes. The first is for January 11th of 2021 regular meeting. Does anyone need to look them over? If not, if you've had a chance to take a look at them, I just need a motion to approve once we're okay.
Move to approve. This is Alan.
Okay, thank you, Alan.
And I'll second that motion.
All right. Okay, with that, then we need to have Alan's first, Tom second. Can we have roll call, please?
Commissioner Engelhardt,
Yes.
Commissioner Arshian,
Yes.
Commissioner Hurdy.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. The next set of minute notes that need to be approved are for the February 1st of 2021, the special meeting. Has everyone had a chance to take a look at that? And I have to abstain from that because I was not present for that meeting. So
Yeah, we've looked at them. I'll make a motion to accept those minutes.
moves.
Second.
Alan seconds. Thank you. May I have a roll call for the February 1st meeting, special meeting?
Commissioner Arshian,
Yes.
Commissioner Hurdy,
Yes.
and Commissioner Engelhardt abstains.
I have to abstain. Thank you. Okay, the next item up on the agenda is for presentation of the financial statements. This is for the, if I can call that out, this is for the January 2021 month to date,
Yes. Mhm.
and also the year-to-date budget report and cash balance. Does anyone, and Chris, do you want to speak on anything relevant to this first?
Well, you might note that at the top there, it has the beginning auditor's cash balance of January 1st. So that was our carryover, obviously, from last year, $1,640,695. We didn't receive any other revenues in January, so that's why it's blank in that column. We just had, payroll was primary expenditure. We had some credit card bills, things like that. So that's, if you have any questions, what we've got here in that column. I've got the detailed report as well. And then the cash balance reports for all of the funds.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions regarding the financial statements that Chris just reviewed? Questions, comments?
No.
If not, then need to have a motion to accept.
Move to approve. This is Alan.
Alan, thank you.
And I'll second.
And Tom second. Thank you. May I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Engelhardt,
Yes?
Commissioner Orshan,
yes,
Commissioner Hardy.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, moving on to the executive director updates. Chris, if there's anything you'd like to highlight first for us?
Sure. Well, we did finally receive that second grant check to the title agency for the Eagle Creek Greenway properties. So at this point, we're scheduled for closing on Wednesday. I still have to get the documents from the title company and sign those, but looks like everything's in place for that. We did have our Tinkers Creek, we had our Clean Ohio scoring, and our Tinkers Creek Greenway project, unfortunately, was ruled to be ineligible because of cloud on the title. I disputed that, and I had another supporter on the committee to agree with me, but nonetheless, it was eliminated, and so we'll need to go back in the future. I did talk to Mr. Gressard, and he's willing to extend our purchase agreement until we get a chance at it next year. So I think we could probably still make it work, even with some of the match, if we can time it with our restoration side of using the WRSP money. So it may be that it'll work out fine, you know, depending again though on competition next year. This is an incredibly competitive round for Clean Ohio. And there were actually, I think, 3 other projects that got eliminated as well. So the bright spot, though, is that, you know, perhaps because we were eliminated and it was a high scoring project, it would have been, it made room for Bird Bog to get partial funding. And I talked to their executive director after the meeting, and they're going to go ahead and commit to accepting that amount of grant funding, and then trying to come up with the balance to complete the purchase. So, you know, we had talked about, you know, we're partnering with them on this project, and we talked about it eventually coming into the Park District's ownership. We've not yet committed any funding to it, but that's something that I think we should be prepared to think about what we're comfortable with. The West Creek Conservancy is pursuing a few other sources to, you know, to come up with that balance. So we'll see how far they get with that, and it may be that, you know, later this spring they'll make a formal request to us.
Chris, it was in your notes, it was the aggressor property had it was an adjacent landowner with the right of first refusal. Is that what held that up or made that get
Correct.
Yeah. What's their intention? Maybe you spoke about that, but what's the intention of those folks with the right of first refusal?
I talked to him on the phone. We didn't have anything in writing as of the time of the scoring, so unfortunately that, you know, they didn't go with it. But he said he was thrilled that the Park District was getting the property. So okay. He was just, you know, delayed, I guess, in sending the letter. So
okay. All right. Well, that's great. I mean, it's good. It's good news, bad, I guess, right?
Sure. Now, in fact, it probably. All in all, you know, especially with Bird Bog getting partial funding, I think it's probably for the best. So.
Okay. All right.
The other one, the land bank, turns out, you know, they took ownership of that small parcel. I think it was like 3 acres. It's up on the north side of 303 next to our Beck Fen property. They took ownership of it via sheriff's deed, but it has an insufficient legal description. So I need to get our surveyor to redo that for us, so it can be transferred to our ownership. Financial management. Boy, this biennial audit's been in the works for a year now. And they did just send us the draft the draft audit report. But there are still some things that need to be cleared up with it. I think there's some confusion. So anyway, I will forward that to you once I get the replies from our auditors on that.
Thank you.
Let's see. That's about it for me. Greg, do you have anything to add under park maintenance?
Nothing to add at this time. My focus tonight would be on item F. Try to put significant attention to those purchases. They're significant purchases for the district. And I'm just looking forward to hearing from the board.
Okay, thank you. So is
Andrea, anything to add?
Just a note regarding the position that we were hiring for. We've made a decision in regards to it. We don't have a formal acceptance yet, but we were really excited. We had a lot of wonderful folks that were really well educated. So I think that we're going to do a lot of really wonderful work with her. So we're excited about that and wanted to thank the board for that.
excellent.
Bob, anything to add on yours?
No, not anything big of note. I'm looking forward to the weather changing and moving to our spring projects.
I think
Nice
we're all-
job on the invasive plant webinar too.
But thank you. Thank you.
Who was that presented to? Who was, as far as participants or?
It
That
was
part
on,
of our excuse me.
go ahead, Jennifer.
That was part of our winter webinar series.
Yeah.
We the Wednesdays in January and February, we've had a series of speakers, and Bob was our speaker last week. And
Mhm.
our last one is coming up this Wednesday with Bob Heath on overwintering bees. So
Okay.
our Bob did a great job, and we've been averaging well, it's been anywhere between 40 and 80 participants at each of those events, and a lot of new people, a lot of new folks, even in the virtual realm. So it's good stuff.
That's excellent. Yeah, thank you.
And our chief ranger's been busy. Zach, do you want to tell them a summary of what you've been up to?
Sure, yeah. The most recent thing is Streetsboro Fire Department's been out at Trail Lake training. They've had we got a lot of good feedback on that. Hopefully keep that connection with them and hopefully more trainings in the future. Had a few warnings, one citation. We get a lot of ATV off-roading up at Chagrin Headwaters. I've been heavily patrolling that area, so hopefully they're getting the point there, and signs are posted to keep them out of there. But other than that, just waiting for the weather to break.
Zach, if I may ask, was it an ATV or actually a vehicle? It was-
This one was actually a vehicle. I decided to go off-road and got stuck.
Okay.
I got, a few cameras up there. There's heavy ATV. I've been trying to, crack down on it, but they seem to come all hours of the day, really. They're using that abandoned railroad track to go from road to road between Chamberlain and Frost Road.
Okay.
But I'm working on patrolling that. Hopefully they see the signs and they're starting to get the idea it's park property.
Okay. Well, thank you for your efforts there.
Okay, anybody else have anything to add from staff?
Yeah, I do. I was cross-country skiing at Towner's Woods in the last couple days, and interesting, a lot of skiers out there, a handful of women skiers, not all in one group, but anyhow, I'm wondering if, you remember Jack Barthels, I think it was,
Yes.
that set trail one time? Could we contract with him next time we get a snow, even if it's to set trail for us? It's, it can be kind of difficult. We had a layer of ice in between the layers of snow, and it was difficult to turn, and the tracks, or the pole tracks, kept grabbing my poles. So that if that's set, it would make it easier for people to hike if we have two tracks with pole tracks, two ski tracks with a pole track on each side of them, gives the people to walk a place to walk too in the middle. So keep them off the ski tracks. A lot of people skiing out there. I mean, it was a lot of tracks everywhere. But anyhow, that's just a request of mine. If we could anticipate that, maybe contact Jack or somebody to set a track out there.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen him or heard from him for a while, but yeah, I'll check in with him and see what's possible.
Great, thank you.
All right.
Okay. Anyone have anything else? If not, then next item is old business, and I see from the agenda that there's none. So we'll move on to item 8, new business. And this first resolution has to do with the to approve the January 2021 expenditures. Does anyone have any questions, comments regarding? If not, I'll need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2021 for the month of January 21st for the expenditures.
All right, thank you,
A
Tom.
second.
Tom moves, Alan second. May I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Engelhardt,
Yes.
Commissioner Rorschan,
Yes,
Commissioner Hardy.
Yes,
Thank you.
All right, the next resolution up is the cash transfer and cash advance to Headwater Trails Fund.
Okay, I did make a little change on the amounts here that I did just send you today. I think before I only had 120,000 suggested in cash advance. Since who knows, we may have change orders, and then also we need to charge back our the general fund needs to charge the Headwaters Trail Fund for the engineering fees that are coming out of the general fund. So just wanted to advance more money over there to be able to cover all of that. And then, you know, as we get reimbursed from the grant, we'll be able to return whatever we don't use to the general fund.
Chris, there will be, like, I'll just say, it looks like money left on the table from the grant perspective. Is there any way to find creative ways to take advantage of any of that, or did we just lose that opportunity with the completion of this project?
Yeah, I can ask, but I believe that's come up in the past, and it just goes back into the pot.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's, you know, we're granted based on our project, and I think it's fantastic. We're coming in so under budget.
Yeah, yeah, that's great.
over 100,000, 120,000, close to there.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, any other discussion around this?
Yeah, I hope
transfer.
that's not a mistake. Hope we don't have to come back and fix it later, give him more money.
Hmm.
But
Well, he's got a bid bond on it, you know, that's what these guys do. They got to make sure all their numbers are right before they submit it, so.
okay,
All right.
almost sounds too good to be true.
Well,
Chris, if I may, for one second.
it's going to happen if it's true.
Sure, Craig, what?
Yeah, one thing that's just of interest with King Excavating, we noticed today the Dollar General that's going into the village of Manaway. King Excavating is also pursuing that project. They have equipment on site, so they're right next door. That could have had some real impact on their bid numbers. So that's
Yeah, they also do demolition work too, so I think they may have a lot of fill that they need to get rid of from someplace.
yeah. So they're right there. So I just thought that was an interesting when I saw their equipment there today.
Yeah, timing's everything.
Yeah.
Okay, any more discussion on this resolution? If not, I need a motion for the cash advance and cash transfer to the Headwater Trail Fund.
Move to approve the cash advance.
Thank you, Alan.
And I'll second.
And Tom second. May I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Engelhardt,
Yes.
Commissioner Orsham,
Yes.
Commissioner Hardy.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next resolution that's up is award of contract for Headwaters Trail Phase 7 construction project.
So yes, as we discussed, the engineer's estimate was 275 about, and the low bid was 155. The next lowest from that, I think, was about 171, and that was Woodford, who did our Trail Lake project. And then after that, kind of surprisingly, there were several, maybe 8 or 10, that were all in real close, around 220,000, 230,000. So yeah, I think as Craig mentioned, that the fact that they're nearby, and also the unit costs, they only had down $10 per cubic yard for their embankment, whereas others were twice that much in many cases. So.
Interesting. Chris, when's I know that you probably have it, but substantial completion of the project? Just if you could refresh my
I believe
memory.
it's August.
Okay.
Craig, does that sound right? He might.
Yes, that's right, Chris.
Okay. Any other discussion around this resolution? If not, I need a motion to approve.
Like to make a motion to approve the award of contract of Headwaters Trail Phase 7 construction.
Thank you, Tom.
Second.
Alan, second. Okay, thank you. Alan, have a roll call, please.
Commissioner Engelhardt,
Yes.
Commissioner Orsham,
Yes.
Commissioner Hardy.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next item up, I believe there are two items. It's for the authorization of purchase of vehicles or equipment over $10,000 each. So this is where, any discussion on this, Chris, or anybody have any initial input on it?
Craig did send me some photos, and I think I forwarded those to you. I'm not sure. Is it showing up now in screen share or no?
You did send photos previously for us to take a look at the
Okay.
the items that we're looking to purchase.
Oh, I missed those.
I do have a question with the RTV, to try to speak a little bit about its intended use. I mean, I understand it's a people mover. It gets people and equipment, supplies to places, but will this thing be based someplace particularly, or what do we feel the day-to-day use of that piece of equipment is going to be?
Craig?
Well, Chris, we've spoken in the past about trying a piece of equipment that would have multiple use for operations. In the way Chris had worded this in the resolution, for operations and natural areas, we have, I don't want to say struggled, but we have had to really look at our schedules in the past when an RTV is being used and schedule accordingly. And of course, that's just part of operating and scheduling. But as we've grown and just taken on more properties, we find ourselves sitting in the bed of the existing UTV because we need more than 2 people. So we're sitting in the bed with the chainsaws and the tools and that type of thing, and that's good and fine. But we also began looking at an additional one where operations and natural areas could use it without overlapping on each other. And then Chris, the director, had spoken at one time, also seeing a use for a unit that could carry more than 2 people. So if we had some park constituents or some people we wanted to take around and show a piece of property to, maybe they weren't able to walk, or maybe they weren't able to do a mile at a certain time that a unit that could haul or that could carry multiple people would be appropriate. And although we do see that vehicle being, stationed or spotted here at the operations center, with any kind of scheduling or notice, we could have that at any park for any of the rest of the administrative staff to use at any time. So this almost becomes, a vehicle that has more than, 2 uses, but it's truly being a multiple use unit.
Okay. Are you getting any implements with it, and does it have a dump bed, or is it just is it a hand operated bed?
Yeah, Chuck, it's a hydraulic dump bed, and the way with that photo, I'm sure you can see that, but that second seat doesn't necessarily have to be used all the time. So the load capacity of that bed can be increased, and even if you are using the second seat, the smaller bed still retains that dump capacity. And so we are putting a windshield on this and a top on it. There are removable doors. And again, that would be more, for an all-around, all-season vehicle. We know where we're working. We're here at the parks. We're out there in the cold weather and the snow and the rain. But again, if we wanted to take some visitors or some constituents around in the park, it'd be the perfect vehicle to do that with. It will be outfitted. We do have a winch. It would fit on either unit, depending what we're doing. It's all operable. So I hope that answers your question. It is a hydraulic dump bed.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
I still want to ride in one of these.
You got it, Alan, anytime.
How about just a little explanation of the tractor? What are we going to get with that mower? Or are we getting any kind of bucket with that? What's going on with that and intended uses? I guess a little more self-explanatory, but just curious.
Sure. We're pretty set with a loader on 2 of our larger pieces of equipment. You scale down too far and a loader on this size, it'd be okay. Maybe more homeownerish, but for our purposes, this has a deck mower. The lion's share of this work will be mowing.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else have any other questions on this resolution? If not, go ahead. If not, then we're looking for a motion for the authorization of the purchase of vehicles and equipment over $10,000 each, please.
I'll move that, authorize the purchase.
Thank you, Alan.
And I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Tom. May I have roll call, please?
Commissioner Engelhardt,
Yes.
Commissioner Orsian,
Yes,
Commissioner Hardy.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. The next resolution up is for the request for ODOT Park District allocations. Turn it over to Chris for a moment.
Sure, this is the resolution that we have to pass every 2 years to formally request the funding through ODOT. We learned that the full funding was again included in the bill, the state budget. So, these are funds that, we really appreciate getting, but they're never absolutely guaranteed. So it's up to the state legislature every 2 years to appropriate them and send them over to us. The amount that we get is the amount that each county with the park district gets is based on their vehicle registrations. So if you're in a very populated county, you're going to get more money than otherwise. We get, I'm figuring that we probably get about 85,000 over this next biennium. The strings are that it can only be used on vehicle related projects. So we can't use it on hike and bike trails, but we can use it to do parking lots, or if we have a road within a park, we could do road improvements. But really, this has been our, budget line for our parking lots pretty much entirely and since we've been getting it.
Sure. All right, thank you for that explanation. Anyone else have any other questions on this resolution? If not, I'll be looking for a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Thank you, Alan.
ODOT.
You have a second?
Yes, I'll second.
Thank you, Tom. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Engelhardt,
Yes.
Commissioner Orsian,
Yes.
Commissioner Hardy.
Yes.
Thank you.
As I see it, that wraps up that resolution aspect of it. Chris, is there anything else before we look to excuse others and move into executive session?
No, I don't have anything. And in fact, with the land acquisition, I'm still waiting on a couple of appraisals. So I don't have anything for executive session today either.
Okay, so we're really at the end of this regular meeting and with no executive session. So if there are no further questions or comments or anything, then need a motion, I guess, to conclude this regular meeting, February 22nd of 2021.
I'll make the motion for us to end the meeting.
Thank you, Tom.
Second.
Second.
Thank you, Alan. I guess roll call on that as well, please.
Commissioner Engelhardt,
Yes.
Commissioner Orsian,
Yes.
Commissioner Hardy.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we appreciate everybody's time and all that you do for the Park District and look forward to seeing you soon sometime.
Yeah.
It's definitely interesting times, but we're finding our way through it slowly but surely. So thank you all for everything you do. We very much appreciate it.
And thank you
Have
for
a
what
good
you
evening.
do with on the board. You guys are great. Appreciate your support.
Thank you. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Take
Okay.
care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good
Later.
Bye.
I know.